West Radio 89.3 FM Kànga Àgbẹ̀màgbẹ̀.
All right, studio time check from our studio here. It is 6:32 a.m. Today, the 23rd day in the month of February 2026. Good morning to you. Thank you for choosing and tuning in to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state number one family radio station, broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan, the capital of your state. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo, and I welcome you to the program Perspectives Unlimited. In the next 60 minutes of your time, we'll start our day right after, of course, the prayers, committing it into the hands of God to keep ourselves abreast of what's happening in our nation, Nigeria. That would help us plan business-wise, politically, and so many other form of planning that we may want to do for the month and the rest of the week. Once again, you're welcome to the program. We're broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House, once again, along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan, the capital of your state. This morning on the program, we have the Punch newspaper, we have the Nigerian Tribune, and from the 3 or 2 dailies, we will start our morning with the front page story. And right after that, our analyst is also in the studio, set and ready to help us understand them one after the other, so we can, of course, chart the path to greatness for our nation, Nigeria. Once again, welcome to the show. Let's begin with the Punch for today. On page 9, FCT polls. PDP drags APC to court after 5 council sweep. On page 8, Regain, INEC Rex risk 2-year jail term. On page 8. On page 28, Tinubu slashes Jenko's 6 trillion naira bill to 2.8 trillion naira. On page 9, 2027 real-time result transmission achievable, says telcos. And now to the major headline on the Punch for today. NNPC, NUPRC fear financial squeeze after Tinubu's order. And of course, the writer to that story on page 2, tension soar as executive order disrupt oil revenue flow, Pengasan. NNPC, NUPRC officials foresee funding crisis. And moving on to page 45, India deport 2,356 Nigerians in 5 years. On the same page 45, Awujale ruling family demands Gov resumes selection process on page 45. On page 7, foreign investment in manufacturing plunges 54%. On page 5, 19 more Nigerians face United States deportation on page 5. And finally, on page 8, on the Punch for today, Uni Abuja expels 28 students over drug offences orders. All right, to the Nigerian Tribune, Electoral Act, what has changed in the new law? Senate leader. The writers to the story, the first one says mandatory deployment of BVAS for voter accreditation, creation of dedicated fund for INEC, abolition of indirect primaries, creation of digital membership register by political parties, 2-year jail term for REC if who withhold vital document, upward review of campaign funds for elective officers. And on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune, terrorists killing Nigerians are foreigners, federal government insists. On page 3, Nigeria floors European tech giant in $6.2 million arbitration case. APC shows strength, wins big in FCT, Kano, Rivers, and Ogun. ADC wins 5 area councils in the FCT. PDP wins 1. PDP says voter apathy, protest against APC's misrule. Outcome of election, endorsement of Tinubu APC chairman. EFCC arrests 20 for suspected electoral fraud in FCT council poll, recovers 13.5 million naira from suspects. On page 12 to 21 of the Tribune, list of application for regulation of area council land document nullified, cancelled by the Honorable Minister of the FCT. It's on that page. And then finally on the Tribune, on page 3, new inhalable TB treatment could replace daily pills, says report. Let's see what we have on the Tribune Online. 2027 APC, 4 parties ready, 16 orders in candidate crisis. And on the Premium Times this morning on the program, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike nullifies fake 485 land document in Abuja. If you own a property in Abuja, you may want to check that to be sure that you're safe. Abuja elections concluded. APC wins 5 of 6 council areas. Why Tinubu quickly signed Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Senate leader. How gas flaring turns Akwa Ibom oil community into a furnace. And finally, Africa, an AI reckoning from mineral base to strategic power. All right, thank you so much for joining us. From what I can see here is like the sales of jam is already on for parents who may also want to purchase that for their children and you're not sure. That's another piece of information that you will find helpful if you want to get that for your child. Once again, thank you for joining us on our Facebook page. You can watch us live right there, facebook.com/Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, and streaming us live on our website, www.wellsradio893.com, and also across all other streaming platforms such as Radio Garden and the likes. You will find Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Chukwemeka Munachiso joins us in the studio this morning to help us understand all the stories that we will be reviewing today. Good morning to you and happy new week. And how was your weekend too?
Good morning, Ayo. The weekend was fine. You know, we thank God for His mercies that we are alive to see another day. It's a miracle, and we shouldn't take it for granted. That when you go to bed, you will just wake up like that. People have died in their sleep, and they slept healthy, but they didn't wake up. So we thank God for everything.
Thank God for life.
Yes.
Many special events through the weekend
for
you?
No. For my own end, there was nothing. We just, weekend is just a time to prepare for another week. Like we are here, we came here since yesterday. You and I, we met here yesterday evening. We walked through the night,
right?
And here we are again. So there's no dull moment. And then this walk does not give you the space to really, have that, what others enjoy, like a stretch, a weekend without anything doing. No, it does not give you that opportunity. Absolutely. You're always working.
All right, let's start work this morning with quite a number of stories, actually, on the Tribune. Let's start with that. And then there are about two of them connected to elections that I believe that Nigerians would want to hear. Rigging, INEC Rex risk 2-year jail term on page 8 of the Punch today. On page 9, 2027 real-time result transmission achievable, says the telcos. And of course, in petroleum, NNPC and UPRC fear financial squeeze after Tinubu's order. Let's start with the one that connects to election. INEC Rex risk 2-year jail term. According to report here, the National Assembly has unveiled far-reaching reforms in the newly enacted Electoral Act 2026, including a 2-year jail term for any resident electoral commissioner who withholds vital electoral document, and the creation of dedicated fund to guarantee the financial autonomy of INEC ahead of the 2027 general elections. The reforms, which followed 2 years of legislative engagement and consultations, were highlighted on Sunday by the leader of the Senate, Okpeyemi Bamidele, in a statement issued in Abuja. Bamidele's attempt to highlight the benefit of the reform comes barely 24 hours after opposition parties formed that provisions in the 2026 Act on Primaries Campaign Funding and Election Timelines titled "The Playing Field in Favor of the Ruling APC." And while the presidency and the APC have defended the amendment as necessary reforms to deepen democracy and strengthen electoral integrity, opposition figures insisted the changes were screwed to weaken the political competition. The Senate leader, however, argued that there were some merit that many Nigerians were not considering in the new Electoral Act. He said the new electoral governance framework equally mandates that INEC to deploy a biomodel accreditation voter system, that's the BVAS, recommend 2-year jail term imprisonment for the resident electoral commissioner who withholds vital document, establish an electronic register of voters, and review campaign funds upward for different elective offices. The Electoral Bill 2026 was harmonized by both chambers of the National Assembly, particularly the contentious Clause 60, Section 3, before it was transmitted to the President for assent to avert any constitutional crisis on the build-up to the general election. Basically, of course, when it comes to issues of this nature, you see all kinds of statements and speculations as regards clauses here and there. But one of it that the new Electoral Act, says or is pointing at is that INEC, resident electoral commissioner who withholds vital document, during the election or establish any electoral fraud whatsoever would get a 2-year jail term. Should that excite Nigerians, knowing that there are well spelt out, spelt out penalties for issues in that electoral act as we march towards the 2027 poll?
Ayo, you see, I don't want us to sound like, when it comes to laws in Nigeria, I have stayed here too long to understand that most of these things you read on the pages of newspapers are just grammar. New electoral act, bylaws, campaign funding, electoral integrity, everything. You see, a society where there is no justice, a society where individuals are above some individuals are above the state, some of these things are just exercise in futility. We have said it repeated. Look, Ayo, when we go back into history, remember the former president, Buhari, he said, shoot at on sight anybody you see with AK-47. How many people were shot? Remember remember what happened in 2023 general as election, when non-state actors debarred people from voting in Lagos State. Police turned the other way, only for police to come out and be telling people, bring the video, let us see. You look, Ayo, new electoral. If we don't, if there is no, if we have not been able to address our mindset in this country, all these things are rubbish. Nothing is going to work. People will still hijack this election and nothing will happen. You go to court, you won't get any justice. So I'm not looking at electoral integrity, campaign funding, or how many people have been sanctioned for exceeding the fund set for campaign. How many people in this country? So it is just people coming from outside will look at all the things we are saying and say, this country is, but it's not working. That's what I'm saying. So we can't have electoral integrity if we don't holistically, intentionally address, we know our problem. Corruption.
But don't you think that this is a new development, right? And of course, on this platform and several others, Nigerians have been calling for a change. And now that we're seeing this, isn't this the change? Or you still believe that this is still going to be the same cycle as always?
I want to tell you something, Ayo. The change can only come if there are consequences for breach. As far as this country still operates where you do something, you cross there's no red line here in Nigeria. There's nothing like red line, which people will not cross. If there are no consequences for what people do, Ayo, it's a waste of people's time. Has anybody gone to jail in Nigeria? How many people have gone to jail in Nigeria for working against our electoral integrity? How many people? How many people have been sanctioned for vote buying? Didn't we see what happened in Ondo State? How many people were arrested? How many people with police? How many people were taken to court for prosecution? That's what I'm saying. So if these things don't happen, there is no way people will have interest. That is, you look at what happened in Abuja. Voter apathy. How many people came out? So we have a lot of problem on our hand, and you don't blame the people. When your trust has been violated severally, you lose confidence. Anybody can come out and win an election, and that does not represent the people. So it is not a question of reeling out, coming out to say INEC has been. INEC is an institution that is not independent. It's not.
All right. Let's look at the other side of this. Well, I agree with you. Of course, trust breached a few times, but looking at some of this new development still, I just hope that Nigerians will find some strength in them, knowing that, hey, if there's any form of fraud or corruption, the resident electoral commissioner will go in for it, at least a 2-year jail term. Well, it's still up to Nigerians to now hold on to that, whether they believe or they do not believe. But let's come to the passage and the signing of the assenting to that document by the president, which, of course, some civil organizations have questioned the speed of that presidential assent. The Senate leadership maintained that the process had been inclusive and exhaustive. Let me get your thoughts in on that. The speed by which the president assented to that bill. For you, is that a concern? Do you think it's something to be worried about, as some of these civil organizations have been doing now?
That's what I'm telling you, Ayo, that we're in a terrible shape, honestly speaking. The speed with which the president assented to that bill. You see, Ayo, it is not, there is nothing, you see, I don't want to sound as if I have lost total confidence in our country. I have not. Because if I have some of these things we talk about moving Nigeria forward, we will not be saying it. But the issue is that there's a lot of problem. There's no transparency. There's dishonesty everywhere. And you can't, leadership is not about being in power. Leadership is about inspiring the people to move along with you to build a viral nation. Are we interested in building this country? You cannot build on falsehood. You can't. Whatever that starts with falsehood will end in falsehood. There is no way we can continue doing what we are doing and believe that, a better country will emerge. No. It's not about being in power. It's about what am I going to do with that power. It's not about winning an election. You can rig yourself into power. Can you rig yourself into performance? Leadership is about making sure that you leave people better than you met them. Leadership is about looking ahead. It's not about you. It's not about your cronies. It's about, do we even have a national ethos? Something that people will look at and say, okay, this is where I'm taking this country to. Where are our leaders taking us to? No, that's the question that should agitate every mind that love this country. Where our leaders, where are they taking us to? Where are they taking us to? Is it their own personal paradise? Are they taking us to a place where Nigeria will be better than other nations? You just said it now. 200 and something Nigerians are deported from India. How many Nigerians deported? Nigerians arrested in Mali and teenage girls going for prostitution. What? No. You tell me the kind of leadership we have in Nigeria. Ayo, if you're a leader and you are hearing these things, how will you feel that you go outside this country? The citizens of your country are being subjected to all these things that are not palatable. How do you explain it? So the question is, where is the leadership taking us to? I'm bothered about everything in Nigeria is okay, but leadership is zero. And if we don't work to get a good and Nigerians are accomplices. I don't excuse Nigerians.
Nigerians,
yes, they are involved because if we have not been able to.
If you want to sell a vote, there must be a buyer.
There must be a buyer
before any transaction.
Yes, you understand. Even there's no excuse for Nigerians. We don't have excuses because if we understand that this country belongs to all of us, it is not the people, it is not the government that elects the people. It is the people that elect their government. But in Nigeria, it's the other way around. When people are in power, accountability is zero. A nation where there's no accountability, there's no progress. Because you are handling people's money. I must tell people how you... when you collect money in this organization, don't you retire it? You come and give an account of how you spend the money. How many of our leaders tell Nigerians what they do with our collective patrimony? What do they do with it? And you are telling me that all these things we are seeing on paper, I just look at them, I laugh. Because I know that nothing will come out of it.
All right, let's move away from that. While we would like to have your own thoughts, as in particular to this headline that INEC resident electoral commissioner, any one of them, if you go and do any form of fraud, 2 years is waiting for you. Do you believe in that?
I'm coming here.
Okay.
The man that, what happened in Adamawa State, one INEC rec. You remember the story? Where is that man today?
That's before the new.
Yeah, no. Where is that man today? Everything has gone.
Let's hope that whoever tries that in the coming election
in this country
will go to 2 years. We'll have the 2-year jail. All right. The conversation of whether election result can be transmitted in real time, electronically or not electronically, that of course we had say 2-3 weeks ago. Now the telcos are speaking here. The concern before now is about. Do we have internet connection or do we have service, in different areas in the country? But Nigeria's telecommunication network is capable of supporting the real-time electronic transmission of election result major telecommunication operators have confirmed. INEC also said 93% of the polling units across the country have mobile network coverage, following a joint technical assessment with the Nigeria Communications Commission (NCC) and a major telecom operator. Major telecom operators who spoke to the Punch said the Nigeria's telecommunications network was capable of supporting the real-time electronic transmission of results, but the process remains largely paper-based. In a position paper obtained by the Punch over the weekend, INEC maintained that electronic transmission of election results is both feasible and supported by existing telecommunication infrastructure, but stressed that implementation hinges on clear legal framework. The document titled Position Paper Number 1, 2021 on electronic transmission of result and was signed on the night of September 2021 by Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, the immediate past chairman of INEC. INEC stated that the paper that it had developed adequate structure and processes to successfully transmit results electronically, adding that the technology and national infrastructure to support this are adequate. Telecom providers are saying we're good to go. But of course, before now, it's largely paper-based. So there seem to be a lane of fears.
No, I don't understand what you mean by that paper-based.
I mean, I want to believe that it's what obtains before now,
okay,
and that now that you
see where our problem is.
It's been in the act.
When the House of Rep and the Senate were meeting on this electronic transmission and manual something, did they call the telcos?
Yeah.
Did they bring them in? Did they bring even the INEC that should be bothered? They didn't. They just sat down in that place and were dictating whether there will be. Even this man from Abia State, Ojo Zokalo, he came out to lie that there was no network in his area. His own people came out to protest that they have network in their places. The video is all over the place. So did they bring INEC and the telcos to ask them, this thing we are debating here, we are wasting people's time and money, is it achievable? They didn't. To show you that there is more than meets the eye. Now INEC is talking that is achievable. Telcos are coming out to tell Nigerians that, but where were they? Did they call them? Now the president has assented. So what are we saying? Don't you read any? No. How do you explain it? The people that you're supposed to call to make inquiries from them. This thing we are debating here, we are not working with telcos. We are not INEC. Is this thing achievable? These are people you're supposed to call, and they will tell Nigerians that so that they will know that look, all eyes are on them. If we fail, we have already told the people that this thing is workable. If we fail, Nigerians will hold up. But they didn't call them. They were there debating among themselves. Oh, we do this manual. The presiding officer has the power to decide, but you have not called the major people who should decide whether these things are achievable or not. Now they are talking. So how do you place it? Oh, when things happen like this, Nigerians are not fools. They can read. They can read in between the lines. They can see what is going on. You understand? You understand what is going on in our country, because everything is about winning election at all costs. Whether you have achieved something or not, when you are obsessed with winning at all costs, there's no length you cannot go to make sure that you bend the rules. And the people you're supposed to call, you didn't call them. So what are we saying?
All right, that's coming from the telecommunication companies stating here. This morning, it's on the Punch newspaper. If you want to read that story, that the 2027 real-time result transmission is very, very achievable. And of course, with the new act, we look forward to results being transmitted electronically, also helping us then get result in no time, not the one you're getting election result about say 48 hours.
Do you know
after elections and the like?
Do you know my fear, Ayo? My fear is this: INEC has a lot of work to do. Nigerians must be made to understand that they have to participate in election. Look at what played out in Abuja.
You know what? Let's take a break.
Okay.
And when we come back right after the break, we talk about different sides and, of course, voter education as regards the election. Just stay with us.
Wells Radio, 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Attention, schools in Ibadan and its environs. Are you ready to see students shine like never before? The annual Kingdom Scholars Rendezvous 2026 is here. Ibadan edition. Theme, Shining Light. Date, 5th March 2026. Venue, Christ Ambassadors International College, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. This impactful gathering will feature inspiring sessions with Pastor Dr. Olumuyiwa Adisa alongside engaging group project, presentations, games, breakout sessions, and exciting musical moments. Registration is open to both members and non-member schools. 8 school slot covers 10 learners, the proprietor, and 1 teacher, all for 40,000 naira. Give your student a platform to grow in faith, confidence, and knowledge. To register your school, act now. Call 0806 387 1522. Kingdom Scholars Rendezvous 2026, raising a generation that shines. ACSI, stronger together.
The Financial Services Regulation and Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, and the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, don't join body to warn everybody of the plenty wahala where the illegal financial operators, IFOs, they cause every day, where they spoil and scatterbalance the trust where public people get on top anything where concern money for Obodo Nigeria. Them they advise us to stop to dey follow and do business with financial money operators when no get license. Abeg, confirm the license of those kind company on top these websites them: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any fake financial people or money scam where you suspect, call CBN 0817 665 7060, SEC 0209 462 1168, 0916 772 3240. Announcer, FSRCC.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep at Honeydew. It's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
Family is not defined by blood, events, headlines, or frequencies. It is our shuffled feet in the busy streets, the levity of the birds upon the brown rooftops, indigenous, nuclear. The blue sky coming to greet us on a sunless morning, safe, clean, wholesome, somewhere between truth and fiction. Wells Radio 89.3 FM Oluyole Estate, a gallery built from mere words of culture, heritage, music, brush strokes visible on an artwork, the rhythm of repetition. Family is not defined by blood. It is togetherness, heirlooms in diaspora, with open arms to embrace through thick and thin. This home, your family, this radio is your radio. My name is Jesse Joba Isaac. We keep listening to Wells Radio 89.3 FM.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Right, you're welcome back, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for tuning in. This is Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station, broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alaafin Avenue, Oluyole, Estate Ibadan, the capital of your state. We say good morning to you once again. 0916-893-1000 and 0915-333-4893 and also 0911-333-3893. Let's talk about some of the issues on the news this morning, especially the one that concerns INEC, Resident Electoral Commissioner, 2-year jail term, if, of course, any fraud surrounding elections. And of course, 2027 election real-time result transmission achievable, says telcos. We have that in the news this morning. Let's have your thought and your reaction to either of the stories this morning on the program. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, and thank you for calling us. That's Ruth
yes,
from Alakia.
Yes, Ruth calling from Alakia.
Thank you, Ruth from Alakia.
Yes.
Thank you for calling.
Yes, sir, thank you. It's good to see that the telecommunication system can now send the election results electronically. I just hope they mean their words. But what we Nigerians want is the transparency from them and INEC. And I will keep employing INEC to improve its processes and ensure that the true will of the people is respected. So, and I will just keep encouraging we Nigerians to collect our PVCs and vote in large number. We should not sell our vote for peanuts that can't reach us for a week, not to even talk of 4 years. So it's high time we choose a better future together. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Ruth from Alakia. Thank you for that last, that word about Nigerians registering and picking up their PVCs. You were about to say that before the break. Let's take this. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Wilfred.
Good morning, Mr. George from Olugweru. Thank you for calling.
From Olugweru.
Thank you, sir.
I think Emeka has said it all. He has said it all. Our leaders are not concerned about what we are talking about. And we have been saying this repeatedly. They are the ones who are making this law, and they are the ones that are flouting it. If really there has been real action sanctioning anybody who go against the laws of this land, by now we would have straightened up ourselves. At times, I think sometime yesterday I was looking at most of the things they are saying, and I was asking myself, are these people thinking that the people they are talking to, they are not alive, or they are fools? You push laws. What are we talking about again now? Is it not the same issue of election that we are now hearing INEC itself saying that they want to go back to look at the electoral process and so on? The laws that will govern the next election after Abuja by-election they just did now. How many times will you go back and look at it? And yet, the thing completely continue to repeat itself because it didn't go your way.
Mr. George, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in this? Do you believe in this INEC resident rec to risk 2-year jail term if any electoral fraud happened under their watch? Do you believe in that section of the act?
The statement in a real country where people know what they want, the good thing they want for the people, is very, very correct. Anybody should believe it. But in the reaction after the function, has it been real? Has it been attended to as per what we are intending to do? The mindset of our leaders is not to do the right thing. The man who is leading them, who is giving them the law to make, does he obey the law? These are the things now.
All right.
If you make 3,000 laws and you are not obeying any one of those laws, have you made any good success?
All right. Thank you, Mr.
That is
George.
it. They don't obey our laws.
I get you. Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. All right. That's Mr. George's perspective right there. You too can join the conversation this morning, 0916-893-1000 and 0915-333-4893 and also 0911-333-893.
I was saying something before we went about what INEC ought to do at this point in time. Look at what happened in FCT. Low voter turnout. People didn't come out. Why? It's a statement. Nigerians have lost confidence in whatever that is called election.
Even with what the new electoral act says, what do you think would make Nigerians believe in elections again?
They don't believe in the people.
If not trying it out again.
I'm coming, Ayo. They don't believe in the people making the law. That is the thing. They don't believe. The mindset of an average Nigerian is that those that are making the law are not worthy of any trust. That's why you don't see them coming out to vote.
So why not vote again? And in democracy, you can fish these people out.
In democracy,
and make a better decision.
In democracy, where citizens don't participate, it's not democracy. Look at what happened in FCT. Look at what happened in some of the states where they did the election. People are not interested, and that's where INEC has a lot of work to do. Forget about the National Orientation Agency. That one is already gone. They have already lost what they are supposed to be doing. They are not doing anything. They collect money from government and they think they are an organ of propaganda. No, it's not. INEC has a lot of work, and we've been saying this thing during Jega, during Mahmoud Yakub. It's a continuous education. You don't leave people in the dark. You don't pack people and put them inside a ship without a sailor. Nobody, you just ask them to sail. That is what exactly, because without voter education and voter participation, our democracy is just a waste. It's just a ruse. People must participate, and they must know why they are participating. Now, if you collect your PVC and you didn't go out to vote, you are like somebody who didn't collect your PVC. I still believe that Nigerians must be made to understand why their active participation is very necessary.
Let's take this comment on Facebook. Sulaiman Sharif says, in the recently concluded FCT council election, only about 240,000 voters turned out to cast their ballot out of 1,680,315 registered
Just look at
voters.
The numbers.
This means that just about 15% of registered voters participated in the election. This low turnout clearly indicates that many Nigerian voters are losing interest in the electoral process. A significant number of citizens believe that the results declared by INEC at the end of the election are manipulated. That's coming from Sulaiman Sharif on Facebook. What difference would the new Electoral Act make to further ensure that Nigerians believe in the electoral process and would come out in the coming election in Nigeria? Let's move away from that very quickly and go to other stories. Fresh questions, concerns, and uncertainty have deepened the oil and gas agencies affected in the wake of President Tinubu's new executive order directing the immediate reallocation of oil and gas revenue to the Federation account on upward distribution among the three tiers of government. The Punch gathered on Sunday that the directive, which effectively halts the retention of certain internal generated revenues by the agency in the sector, has sparked deep concerns with the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL), and the board and management of the Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund. The uncertainty, according to operators and experts, centers on the absence of a clearly defined alternative funding model from the NUPRC to meet its statutory obligation following the reallocation of the oil and gas royalty to the Federation accounts. There seemed to be confusion or uncertainty, just to say that, in the camp of course, basically around the oil and gas sector.
You see, that's why a lot of people are saying that the president should not be the minister of petroleum. Do you understand? And Ayo, the money will be shared among the three tiers of the government. Do we have the local government? It's two. Because
do we have the local government?
Yes, that's the question.
We do have the local government.
Are they operational?
That's another conversation.
And that's what I'm saying.
I mean, if you go to local government offices, they are open.
You will see structure now.
They are open for their daily work.
The money actually is going to the governors, not to the local government chairman.
So which means the governors may be richer.
Yes. The governors are richer already. The governors are richer. But that richness, does it translate to the well-being of the people? Is there anything to show in the states that the people are actually the richness of the governors are reflecting on the people in the state? There's no evidence. That's why I said Nigerians are losing complete confidence in whatever that is called governance, and they are showing it through low voter turnout. Look at what happened in Abuja. I'm afraid that when we call for election, that you will discover that people can win. You can go to a community where 2 million people will vote. Only 10 people will come out. If you win in that kind of, can you call yourself a winner? Can people that won election in Abuja come out now and say, we have won this is an election? It's not an election. Because people did not come out. And people are the reason where there is an election. So this upstream, downstream, money and everything, it is all giving money to the governors. And they are going to have a lot of money. They will dictate a lot of things in the state. Everything is geared towards winning by all means necessary. Money or no money. When I was growing up, Ayo, when election is coming like this, you see people in offices coming out with their scorecard. This is what we did. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. Do we see something like that happening? What we do now is that we go and hire influencers all over the place, deceiving Nigerians. Reading scripts they don't even believe in, all because money has exchanged hands.
Scripts they do not believe in.
They do not believe in, because with their own very eyes, they know that this thing I'm saying is not even working. But nobody's coming with the scorecards again. I grew up in a political structure where people come out with their scorecards. Do we have scorecards again? No. What we do is that if we know you have done something good, why hiring influencers? Why spreading money on the social media? Why using influencers to deceive gullible Nigerians? That's what I'm saying. So it's not a law about, it's come out and this. I promised to build bridge from here to Mokola. I have built that bridge. People will see the bridge. Now nobody is talking about scorecard. It's all about I have the means to buy anybody that I want to buy. People are now harvesting PVC. People will call you. They have called me. Somebody has called me. Ayo, send me your PVC. Everything on it. Your account number, BVN, NIN, and for what? People are out in the street harvesting PVCs. For what? Towards 2027. Is that the scorecard? If you have done so well, if our political climate is now shifting to a very dangerous level, where individuals insist on remaining in their offices whether they performed or not. In the olden days, during election, what you'll be hearing on pages of newspaper is the achievements of the people, what they have done. Oh, people will look at it and say, it's true, he promised to do this and he has done it. But nowadays, it's influencers who are using it. We can ask influencers, give them money, go and confuse the people, forming all manner of boys all over the place.
All right, 19 more Nigerians face U.S. deportation. No fewer than 19 additional Nigerians have been named on the United States government worst of the worst criminal list and are scheduled for deportation. Findings by the Punch from the website of the United States Homeland Security on Sunday showed that the latest update has increased the total number of Nigerians slated for deportation to 113. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, good morning. We can hear you.
This is Aderonke from Muslim.
Aderonke from Muslim. Thank you for calling.
Concerning the outcome of the election in Abuja, voting the percentage doesn't change the reality. As there is low turnout, that is, the turnout is still extremely low, results were delayed, and voters were confused. So to me, that is not progress. It is a warning sign to us come 2027 election. And I believe that election that happened in Abuja was manipulated. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your call this morning. Still with that story about deportation, the newly listed individuals were convicted of offenses ranging from sexual assault of a minor, fraud assault, drug trafficking, and money laundering, among other issues. Let's take this call. Good morning to you.
Good morning, ITBY.
Good morning, Benga Mario. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
See, on the just concluded election in Abuja, Kano, and some other states like that, we can only share some blame to INEC and the APC. We have less of the blame. The larger part of the blame goes to the opposition party, who did not put their house in order. And the failure on the part of some of those parties like PDP is a testament to their failure. Though I am not doubting the fact that APC might have a kind of unit, to make sure that they have their own contestant that won. But albeit, we must also go deep down to check on the antics of the opposition party like PDP. In Kano, NMPP happens to be the party that lost. But how come that APC took over? You can blame that on the governor. You can blame that on individual sentiment or individual interest by the people, by the party stalwarts in NMPP rather. So how about those? You know that in Abuja, in the election that happened in Abuja, even some voters were being paid their conscience were bought with money. So on that, you also blame APC. I'm not an APC member. I'm not a party member. But we must nail something on the head. So that is my point and that is my stand. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Benga Mairo. Thank you so much for your comment. Chukwemeka, let's talk about that deportation list.
That's what I was telling you about putting our house in order. It's not only we are exporting vice, we are exporting our bad behavior. We carry it from here, and imagine something happened in South Africa where we didn't pay our NEPA bill. What do they call it? We didn't pay. They went and cut it off. What does that tell you about the image of the country? Do we have image? I'm here to hear from Abike Dabiri. I don't know whether is she still in the.
Yes, she's still
because she appears only to be talking about when somebody has won something, then we own the person. When it is what? Look, Ayo, if we don't put, you know why Nigerians take these things outside? Because there are no consequences at home. If a child does something bad in the family, and you flog that child, and you discipline that child very well, when he goes outside, that child will remember the treatment he received at home. He won't do it outside. But because here there's nothing we don't condone. We pamper terrorists, take selfie with them, and now they're even telling us that those people that are killing Nigerians on industrial scale are not Nigerians, they are foreigners. What a country. Foreigners are coming in to kill your citizens on a large industrial scale, and the governors are mulling the idea of pardoning them, and they are taking selfies with security operatives, foreigners. Tell that to the Marines. So the issue is this. If they are reporting Nigerians, America said visa overstay, fraud, this romance scam and everything. If Nigeria is a country where there are consequences for any breach, for anybody behavior. When a Nigerian leaves Nigeria and goes abroad, he will behave. He knows that, look, this is not my country. But he carries that thing outside, believing that, oh, this is another Nigeria. I can do whatever I want to do, and I will go scot-free. And it doesn't work that way. That's why we have a lot of them being deported back to Nigeria. Because we didn't train them here. We didn't let them know. Politicians do whatever they want to do, everything here. Everybody tells lies. Everybody. Do you know that in a sinner country, a politician telling lies is enough to disqualify you? People will not vote for you. But here, the more depraved you are, the more you are even eligible to be voted into power. What a country.
All right, if you go through the list, this is Nigeria in its real sense. You find Yoruba names, you find Hausa names, you find Igbo names, and it should bother all of us.
This thing is not about profiling the people. It's about we as a people.
That's where I'm heading to. That rather than maybe some people looking at it as a sectional
it's not.
This is a Nigerian issue.
Yes.
As you see the names cutting across all the geopolitical zones and ethnic groups in Nigeria. Problem. And it truly represents us as a nation.
That is who we are. You understand? If they are looking at us, they know what's going on in the country. They know. You understand? Why is it that some foreign missions have rejected even those we are sending out? Go and check. Ayo, if you don't treat your child, if you don't discipline your child at home, you will go outside and disgrace you. That's why the good book said, train a child in the way he should go, so that when he grows up, he will not depart from it. What have we done here? Somebody will kill here. We come and we go to court. They will set him free. Every bad behavior is rewarded. Look at the one we did. The one that stopped aeroplane, as in Lagos. You understand the story now? We made him an ambassador. A lady came out and said that he can how many men he can take, how many men in a day they can come and sleep with her. We made an ambassador. When that kind of person goes outside Nigeria, what do you think we do? He will replicate the same thing, believing that he's still in Nigeria. And they will catch up with him and bring him here. And they are all disgracing this country. Because we have refused to let laws work in Nigeria. Not about making laws. We have a lot of... Anybody that coming into Nigeria will see our statute books. The person will say, wow, this is a beautiful country. But they are just there on paper. Nothing is working.
Let's go to Akwa Ibom before we go. Vandalism of public property, village heads to be held responsible. The governor of the state... made the announcement that village head will be held responsible for any future destruction of government property within their jurisdiction. NL said this while speaking to newsmen at the government house at the weekend. Any village head that has a government presence and there is vandalism of government property in that village will be held responsible. And we will withdraw the certificate of the village head.
Yeah, that is even what we are discussing this morning on Wazobia.
What's your take? Before you have that robust conversation on Wazobia.
It's a misplaced priority.
That village head should watch after the people.
Look, Ayo, go and check why do we have government? Protection of lives and property. Village heads, what are they protecting? What are they in charge of the military?
Are they not part of government?
No, are they in charge of police? What are they going to use juju to protect the structures in their domain? No, it's a sign of frustration on the side of government. What can a village head do? Will he be parading the whole place? What is there any security apparatus under his control? No. You don't have to shift your responsibility to a man that is incapable, that is so handicapped by the society that he cannot do it. What will he do? So if you build a mast in this Oluele community, you ask the baile of this place that if anything happens to that mast, you come and... No, what kind of nonsense is that? So the baile will not sleep.
Well, I'll be listening to Wazobia platform and see all the different views that comes with that. That's all we can take this morning. Thank you so
for
much
having me, Ayo.
All right. There's a call on the line. Can we take that? Let's see if we can squeeze that in. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, West Radio.
Can I talk to you in 1 minute? Because we have to go.
Yeah. Chukwemeka has done it all. Let me be fast in my comments. You see, Nigerians, we refuse to grow. We jump up. When you jump up, you come down. When you grow up. May God bless West Radio.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. That's all we can take. The phone lines are still buzzing, but we cannot go beyond that. AM Sport need to come in now. Thank you so much for your state. Have a blessed and beautiful Monday. Be the best version of yourself and be the Nigerian that wants to see a good Nigeria. God bless you.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.
Not just a